So, rarely do I ever talk about my job. I rarely talk about my job. I'll talk about, many other things as far as doctoral school is concerned and other public issues and personal issues too. But I rarely ever talk about my job. Last video was the first time I've actually talked about my job in somewhat of detail. But I'm about to talk about a second aspect of it. Finals are coming, and these are just standard traditional finals, things of that nature. Now, what I'm wanting to basically talk to you guys about are the three things that teachers really grade for, like teachers, professors, and employees. I mean, employers of companies. These are the things. These are the three things that we grade for. The first thing that we grade for is for accuracy. We want to make sure that when you are doing an exam or a test or whatever, we want to make sure that you can get the answers right. Not just because of, using notes or whatever or what have you. Can the answers be right from your understanding of the subject matter or your access to the notes? There is such a thing as having a sincere right answer to an open-ended question. And of course, there are going to be right answers to those that have direct answers, like, is the sky blue? Yes, there are things like that. So, the second thing that we grade on your ability to work with other people. Now, in my class, I made it mandatory that my students work together because taking an online class is difficult. It's difficult even for someone like me. I'm 30 years old. I'm going on 5.5 year veteran in education. And even I struggle with online classes, mostly because of the time constraints, mostly because of not quite understanding the content right off the bat. So I have to ask for help. I have to ask my classmates, I have to ask, my mentors, I have to ask them for help. So I'm trying to make sure that my students understand that that's one of the big elements. That's the big three. So learn how to ask your ask your teammates, ask your friends for help because that's what we grade on. And then third and finally, we grade you on time management. Can you get stuff done in a timely manner? Can you manage the time that you have in order to be able to get the stuff in? Now, I've already done time management in two of my seasons on Road to the Doctorate. I've talked about how to manage your time in the first season, and I've talked about some things that you can do in the second season. So I think time management is pretty much a big deal. Now, there's a way that I set up things in my class. Back in the early times, it was 20/40. 1 to 2 days you get 20 points off. Anything after 2 days is 40 points. Then I increased it to 25/45, and then eventually now I don't even look at it anymore. Why? Because I gave so many chances for students to be able to get it in on time. So a lot of people had something to say about that. Why that's not fair. That's not fair. Dude, do you not know what I give for an assignment? I give an assignment that's so simple it could be done in 20 minutes. And I give them all day. So time management is the thing that they have to work on. And I give them advice about that. Mind you, all these things that I'm talking about, I give advice to. I give lessons on. I've already run this playbook with them. So they should know by now what to expect out of me, what I expect out of them. So for those of you that are out there watching, please make sure that you are first being accurate in your work. Secondly, using teamwork when you're a group with people or you're asking for help. And three, make sure you get it in on time. Because think about it. Think about this. When you go to those of y'all that are in college right now, your professor is going to basically judge you based off of your work ethic. And those three things are considered part of your work ethic. If you fail at these consistently, they're not going to want to give you that recommendation letter. They're not going to want to put their faith in you because that would not only damage their reputation, but it would basically make them feel like, oh, I have bad taste in candidates. All right. For those of y'all that are on the job right now, get your stuff in on time. It's okay if you've been, late once or twice, but don't make this a consistent habit. Don't be that person that always sends in incorrect stuff. Don't be that person that just never want to ask for help on a job. That makes for poor candidates for leadership. I should know. I didn't even want to be in leadership. But here I am now. I'm in leadership positions because I exhibited those characteristics to an impeccable level. Be that person that you can do leadership, but choose not to. And those three things will basically get you anywhere in life. So follow me on YouTube, Road to the Doctorate.